How to deal with non-performing contractors. Hi, my name is Julia M. Spencer. I'm a real estate advisor, investor, and your number one source for real estate advice online. And with this video, I want to talk a little bit about non-performing contractors. I made a video like this before about some pet peeves I've had with air conditioning contractors. And unfortunately, we're back in almost starting with the high season here in Savannah, Georgia, and we have additional run-ins with the air conditioning contractors. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory here. I have several properties here in the area, and of course, vacation rental time, high season, it's hot outside, we need air conditioning. Temperatures are still sort of in the upper 70s, lower 80s, but they will increase to the 90s and 100s here very soon, and we're going to need to have working air conditionings. So in order to prevent me having to dish out $2,500 to $4,500, $5,000 for a new air conditioning units, which is how much they usually cost, I prevent that problem a little bit by buying home warranties. And you can get them through American Home Shield, you can get them through Choice Warranty. There's several other companies that sell homeowners warranties, and they'll insure things like your air conditioning system, your plumbing, your electricity. There's like a number of things you usually can choose from. And if something goes wrong in your home, you pay a small fee, and you pay the monthly fee, of course, to the warranty company, or it's a yearly fee, whichever you choose. And they will then pick somebody and choose somebody to send out to your home to fix it. And you don't have this big expense. There's usually a capped amount, a maximum amount of what they'll pay. And of course, they'll have certain guidelines and things. But all in all, it's a really good deal, especially if you have an older home or several of them, so you don't have to worry about that. Me being in the vacation rental business, this is something that's very imperative to me because I can't do a lot of the repairs myself. So what happened this week, or this past month, I guess, is that I've had an air conditioner that's been breaking for a while now. It's been kind of on and off working for a good year and a half, and I've had the same insurance company that whole entire time. And every time something breaks, I call them, they'll send somebody out, I pay the fee, it gets fixed temporarily, only to break again in a month or two. So I'm playing this along, paying my fees, and I'm like, eventually the company is going to get the point that the system has to be replaced because it's just not fixable, or we keep fixing the same thing over and over and it's just not working. And that's kind of what I was waiting for. So this last contractor that came out, and I'm not going to mention any names, I'm not going to defame anybody, but sometimes the contractors, they just have the good old time with their customers. There's no customer service, no accountability, no need or want to satisfy your customer because they have just way too much business going on. And so this contractor that was supposed to come out actually had a window to come out between 12 and 4 p.m. And it's usually a 4-hour time frame with this company. And they missed their appointment time. The first time they missed it completely. The contractor called me after 4 p.m. and said he would be there in about 15 minutes or so. The second time he said at 3:30 that he was going to be at least another half hour, which again would have blown his window, but I ended up coming back after 4 o'clock just to see if they had showed up, and he was indeed there. The contractors are just basically pushing me around. They're basically treating me replaceable, not worthwhile. They a lot of times don't want to deal with the insurance companies because they have to file claims, they have to make phone calls, it's extra work. They rather prefer the cash paying customers, and they basically just gave me the big runaround. In addition to that, into calling me most every day and trying to reschedule appointments, which I almost felt like I was being harassed. Even on the vacation, I even told them, I said, I'm not going to be in town this week, you can call me next week to get this taken care of. Anyways, long story short, eventually the contractor did show up late, and yelled at me for arriving after him, about 3 minutes after him. And at this point, I'm like, okay, we're just going to play this along, and going to ask him to do his work, even though it was 4 o'clock. I'm sure it was the end of his work day and he was tired. But I needed to get this air conditioning fixed. I've been waiting for about a month at this time. And he basically didn't like the fact that I told him he was late, and I was aggravated, and he just got in his car and left. And at this point, of course, I called the company that, his manager, and explained the situation, and now found out that the contractor actually lied to his manager, stating that I wasn't paying the co-pay that I was supposed to pay while he was there, even though I was ready to pay. There was no problem with me paying a small co-pay fee. And everything just went south. And the contractor ended up leaving. I spoke way too long to the manager to get this resolved, not getting anywhere. And eventually I decided to call my warranty company, which is something you can do, and ask them to assign a different contractor. Now, in this case, they couldn't do that because they had already approved the work, so they were going to give me a payout instead, which is fine. But what I want to illustrate with this example is that I am now delayed another several weeks because we have to wait for the payout. I have to find a different contractor. I have to get that contractor to come and inspect the problem. That new contractor now has to order the part that is necessary to repair the air conditioning, and everything just gets shifted to the right, which is my problem now, basically. I mean, the original contractor lost the work, and I lost a lot of time, and a lot of hassle has been created for me. Here's a couple of points. This is what has always helped me, and I have difficulty with this sometimes, so I'm going to teach this to you. So hopefully you'll learn from me and don't make the same mistakes. The first thing, that dealing with contractors that are difficult, you have to stay professional. And you have to speak to them kind of in the same manner that I'm speaking to you right now. And don't use curse words, don't insult them, don't make any jabs or anything like that. Just basically state the facts. And I even said to this manager, hey, your contractor just left. Please call them, tell them to come back and continue the work. And they basically said, no, we're not. We're going to reschedule you at a different time. And I'm like, well, you've already rescheduled me several times, so we weren't getting anywhere. But the point was that I really, really needed to stay professional. I was getting very aggravated. I wasn't cursing or wasn't insulting anybody, but I felt like I wanted to really bad. Kind of have to hold that urge in. And always keep in mind kind of your end goal. In this case, what should have happened is I should have just shut up my anger and my frustration, and basically rescheduled the appointment and gotten off the phone as quickly as possible. The conversation dragged on for at least 15 minutes, which was way too long to set up an appointment, and that was my bad. That was my mistake. I've learned from this. I've known this before, and I've made the same mistake again, so please don't make the same mistake that I did. Of course, do not curse, because you're going to get the other party that's on the phone on your bad side immediately. Don't make accusations. In my case, accusations were warranted. I had a strong belief that the technician that showed up may have been under the influence of something. I don't know. I voiced my concern to the manager, but in this case it was irrelevant because they weren't going to do anything about it anyways, and they weren't going to hear anything about it either, which for a business is kind of like, if somebody mentioned that to me as a business owner, I would definitely investigate that and not shoot down the messenger, which is the customer. But in this case it was irrelevant. I didn't need to say that. It was it wasn't getting me to my goal, basically. And that's what you kind of have to do. You kind of have to keep your goal in mind at all times. And if your goal is to get something fixed, and this is the quickest way to get it done, you need to shut up your mouth, and you need to shut up your frustration and your anger, and suck it up, and I don't know, go run 5 miles after your work day is done, but don't let it out on this contractor. Once they're finished, you can say whatever it is that you want to them. You can write a complaint, you can file a complaint with a Better Business Bureau, whatever it is that you want to do, but don't do it until the work is done. This is actually very, very good advice that it took me a very, very long time to get this. And I still don't follow it sometimes because I'm very emotional, impulsive, strong-headed person, and I probably shouldn't be sometimes. The point of this video is, in summary, because we've been going for a while here, if you want something done with a contractor, to stay as professional as possible and respond versus react. This is really, really good advice, really, for any life situation that is high stress. But especially if you're in real estate investing or you're in a business situation and you need something done, you need to learn how to respond versus react. And if you can't do that, you need to step away. Even if you need to take a whole day to respond, don't respond in the instant that your anger and frustration is built up so high that you're going to say something that basically is going to cause you to get shot yourself in the foot. I made this mistake. I still don't have a fixed air conditioning as we speak right this moment. I'm about to make another phone call to see where my payout check is, and then I'm going to have to figure out something about a different contractor. So everything gets delayed and it's hot outside, and that's my fault. I could have had it fixed yesterday. So anyway, that's my point with this video. Dealing with difficult contractors or anybody, respond versus react. And for more tips like this, go to my website, juliamspencer.com. Subscribe to my newsletter there, and I hope to see you investing very successfully soon. Have a great day.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.